The Israelites were once a large family that had settled in Egypt. They lived peacefully for many years, but over time a new pharaoh came to power. He saw the growing Israelite population as a threat. Pharaoh decided to enslave the Israelites. They were forced to build cities and work in the fields under harsh conditions. Their lives were filled with misery and hardship. Pharaoh even decreed that all newborn Israelite boys should be thrown into the Nile River. He hoped to reduce the Israelite population and crush their spirit. The Israelites cried out to God for help. They yearned for freedom from their cruel bondage. They longed for a land they could call their own. Little did they know that God had heard their cries and was preparing a plan to deliver them. A plan that would unfold through a man named Moses. Amidst the cruelty of Pharaoh's decree, a baby boy was born into an Israelite family. His mother, Jochebed, saw that he was a special child. Desperate to save him from death, she hid him in a basket. She placed the basket among the reeds by the Nile River. Pharaoh's daughter found the baby while bathing in the river. She took pity on him and decided to adopt him as her own son. She named him Moses. Moses grew up in the luxury of the Egyptian palace, unaware of his true heritage. But one day, God called upon him to confront Pharaoh and demand the Israelites' freedom. Moses, guided by God, stood before Pharaoh. He declared, "Let my people go." Pharaoh refused. He scoffed at Moses' words and the God of Israel. In response, God unleashed a series of 10 plagues upon Egypt. The Nile River turned to blood. Swarms of locusts devoured the land. Boils covered the Egyptians. Each plague demonstrated the awesome power of God. Each plague also targeted a specific Egyptian god, revealing the impotence of these false deities. Still, Pharaoh remained stubborn. He hardened his heart against God and refused to free the Israelites. Section 4, Exodus, a night of fear and freedom. Finally, the 10th and most devastating plague arrived, the death of the firstborn. God instructed the Israelites to sacrifice a lamb and mark their doorposts with its blood. This would be a sign for the angel of death to pass over their homes. That night, as darkness fell over Egypt, there was great wailing and sorrow, for the angel of death had struck down every firstborn Egyptian son, including Pharaoh's own son. Terrified and heartbroken, Pharaoh finally relented. He allowed the Israelites to leave Egypt. They left hastily, taking their belongings and the unleavened bread they had prepared for the journey. This event, the night of the Passover, would forever be etched in the memory of the Israelites. It was a night of both fear and liberation. Section 5. Crossing the Red Sea, a miraculous escape. The Israelites, led by Moses, began their journey to freedom, but Pharaoh, filled with regret, changed his mind again. He chased after the fleeing Israelites with his army. The Israelites found themselves trapped between Pharaoh's chariots and the Red Sea. They were terrified, but Moses reassured them, "Do not be afraid, stand firm, and you will see the deliverance the Lord will bring you today." Then God performed another miracle. He parted the waters of the Red Sea, creating a dry path for the Israelites to cross. They walked through the sea on dry ground with walls of water on either side. When the Egyptians attempted to follow, the waters rushed back, drowning Pharaoh and his entire army. The Israelites were safe. They had witnessed the awesome power of God, and their faith in him grew stronger.